you went to school, you went to high school here 2 years, and then you went off to OMA. Why did you go to OMA? And what was something unusual about your going to OMA?
Well, I'd like to say that I was the trouble at home, but I don't think I was. So, but my dad comes home one day, and this is kind of the way he did things. He would say, there's a guy coming to OMA next year. His name is Paul Kaminsky. And Paul Kaminsky is this wonderful band director, and he ran Tulsa Public School Music School forever. And Paul Kaminsky is going to come and lead the OMA band. He said, you should be in that band. And that's why I went to OMA.
I didn't know that that's the reason you went.
That's why I went.
I knew you weren't in trouble. I knew you wouldn't be in trouble. So I knew that. But I didn't know that's the reason. And weren't you unusual from some of the other kids who were there? You didn't live on campus,
No,
did you?
I didn't live on. I was a day student.
You were, and were you the first day student, or were there other day students?
There were. Well, the faculty could have their kids could go to OMA.
Uh-huh.
And so Paul Kaminsky's son, who was my age, he was a day student there.
Oh.
And me and Brian Brainerd. There was a few
Oh,
of
there were
us.
others,
There were some others. And I don't know what the criteria was for going and being a day student, but
It was unusual, to say the least.
Yeah, it was, well, they didn't know how to do. They didn't know what to do with you because you're supposed to be a rabbit. When you go to OMA, you're supposed to be a rabbit, which is the bottom of the. and you had to square all your corners and salute everybody and do this thing and that and I played all those games and went along with all of it. But at night I got to get in my car and go home.
When you went up there for the band, I mean that's the main reason.
Really did.
And you played in the band. Is that all? Did you have any other activities up there?
Well, I played in the football team.
Did you?
And
Okay.
I played baseball and ran track. I did all the stuff that I was doing at Claremore schools too. But I'm never very good at any of it.
Who was the coach up there then? The football coach at that time.
Well, Wofford was one of them. And
Don
I loved
Wofford.
Don Wofford.
Don
I
Wofford.
loved Don Wofford.
I do too.
He also taught English, which I thought he was
Football coach.
least suited to teach English. But that's another discussion. Gosh, what was the name? I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of our football coach, but we didn't have much of a football team. And the problem is that you would get these kids that'd come out and play, and then they'd go on report. They'd do something, they didn't have their shoes shined, or they didn't do something right, and so they'd get on report, and they wouldn't get to come to practice, and so they couldn't play in the ball game. So you might have a full team one day, and the next day you might not have but half of them. It was a kind of a terrible way to have an athletic program, but that was kind of what it was.